What's up, everybody? It's Amrinder Singh, and you are listening to Learn Punjabi like a native podcast. The main purpose of this podcast is to teach you conversation in Punjabi and tell the difference between textbook type Punjabi and the real conversation in Punjabi. Now, let's kick this thing off. Today, I'm gonna talk about how would I learn Punjabi if I were a non-native Punjabi learner, right? So, how would I learn it? So there are a few things I'm gonna do, and you can also know about these things and you can apply to in your own life. Probably you don't need to apply all of things, but there's something you can apply and it's going to be definitely benefit you. All right. So first I'm gonna put myself in a hard situation where most of you guys fall into. So basically, I'm supposed to, like, I'm living in US and I have a 9 to 5 job. It's pretty hard to find a time to learn a language. And I have a 9 to 5 job, and it took me to 1 hour from my home to work, right? And basically, it's gonna take my 2 hours in the morning when I'm like going from my home to work, and 1 hour when I'm going back to home. 1 hour, it's 2 hours, right? So basically, I have to get ready before 8 o'clock. So basically, I think I'm gonna wake up 6:30. Then I'm gonna make a coffee for me. Then I'm gonna take a shower and I have a breakfast. I think it's gonna take my 1.5 hour approximately. So I wake up 6:30. Then I will get ready, and 8 o'clock I'll leave my house, and 9 to 5 I'm doing my work, and 5 to 6 I'm again driving. And again, when I came back home from 6:30, not at 6 o'clock to 6:30, I'm gonna change my clothes and maybe gonna take some rest. Then I think from 6:30 I still need to work out because I like to work out. I wanna be stay fit. So 6:30, 7:30 I'm gonna do my workout. So from 7:30 maybe I'm gonna take some rest and I'm gonna do some dinner. And now 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. I think I'm gonna do study. So I find 1 hour for studying Punjabi, right? So 9 to 10 a.m. maybe I'm gonna do something else, right? Maybe I'm gonna watch some TV or YouTube stuff like that. Anyway, after that I'm gonna go to the bed. So in tight schedule, I find 1 hour. So it sounds pretty nice, pretty good. I don't think so. I think I need more time to study to learn Punjabi, right? So how can I find more time? Yeah, basically I have 2 hours while I'm driving. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna listen something while I'm driving. Maybe I'm gonna listen a Punjabi podcast. Even I don't understand Punjabi because I'm completely beginner. I am gonna start learning Punjabi from a scratch. I'm gonna still listen because I'm gonna train my ears. Even I can't understand Punjabi. If you listen somebody who know multiple languages, right? So they says even you can't understand the language you're learning, but if you listen it, you are gonna train your ears, right? If you wanna use this technique, go like start listening any kind of language 1 or 2 hours every single day, or start watching. If you like a never study, never like a learn from a teacher, you after like a 6 months you would learn some kind of sentences. It's automatic, it's happened. So it's very effective. You're gonna train your ears. So I'm gonna listen podcast while I'm driving. So now I have 3 hours of studying, right? That's pretty good. That sounds pretty good. So I'm doing study for my Punjabi actively between 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and I'm staying in touch with my language. I'm learning basically Punjabi for 2 more hours. So yeah, it's passably, right? Because I'm driving, but I'm still listening. So 3 hours stay in touch with Punjabi. That's pretty good in my opinion. So if you don't want to listen while you're driving, maybe you can find time another time. Maybe if you are like making a breakfast for yourself, at that time you can listen something in Punjabi. All right. So then what I do, I do like I'll know my level. I'm beginner or I am like a intermediate level, elementary level, right? Or I'm intermediate level. So basically here I'm completely beginner. I know few words like a sastri kal ki stuff like that, but I still beginner. All right. Then I would like think what I need to learn first, like why I want to learn Punjabi, right? I want to learn Punjabi. Maybe I want to talk to my friends. I want to learn Punjabi. Maybe I want to talk to my family who is in Punjab. And I want to learn Punjabi maybe because I want to talk to my significant other in Punjabi, right? So in these three things, I have different. Actually, I'm gonna use a little bit different kind of senses. So, for example, if I want to learn Punjabi because I want to talk to my family who lives in Punjab, so basically I'm gonna talk over the phone with them, right? So, what kind of sentence I'm gonna use? I'm gonna say like, "Hey, how are you? How are you doing?" Right? And they would ask me like, "How are you doing?" I would say, "I'm doing good. What did you do today?" Right? So I hang out with friends. These kind of vocabulary, these kind of sentence I need to learn, right? So basically the sentence we use over the phone when we talk to our family, right? So what's the temperature in there in Punjab, right? So how hot is in Punjab, stuff like that. So I will focus on these kind of vocabulary first. So if I want to learn Punjabi because I want to talk to my friends, so then I would focus on little different kind of sentences and different kind of Punjabi. For example, so basically these are my Punjabi friends. I hang out with them, right? Maybe we have planned to hang out tomorrow. So what we are gonna talk about, like for example, we are going to watch a movie, and he will, hey, well, when you ready? So I would say, oh, I will like 9 o'clock because we're gonna watch movie at 10 o'clock, right? So yeah, we'll meet here 10 o'clock. These kind of sentences, huh? So in Punjabi, you can say like, ਤੂੰ ਕਦੋਂ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋਵੇਂਗਾ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ 10 ਕੁ ਵਜੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਊਂ ਹਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਮਿਲਾਂਗੇ ਆਹ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ ਆ ਜਾਈਏ ਨਾ so basically these kind of sentences it's a little different kind of vocabulary here, right? So different kind of sentences. So in general, like if you don't want to focus on that, you can generally start from the things around you. Like for example, the things around your house. At the beginning you can start from learning like a vocabulary, like a chair means kursi, table means maid, right? Then you can use how to use them in a sentence. um Image about sona, this table is beautiful, right? These kind of stuff. Like a cha means tea. I wanna make tea. मैं चाय बनानी है. I wanna drink water. मैं पानी पीना. Right? These kind of vocabulary which is more surrounding to you. You can start from there. But if you wanna become fluent in specific word, you are like going to be talk about first, then you can focus on that kind of vocabulary first, right? So in this case, I want to talk to my family who in Punjab, so basically I'm going to learn that kind of sentences, that kind of vocabulary first. All right, so then I'm gonna find a platform. What platform I need to learn a Punjabi? Because where I live here nobody speaks Punjabi, right? So there's a couple of platforms like books, teachers, YouTube, podcast, or courses. So first thing I would do, I would go on YouTube. So at the first, I won't like actually hire a teacher because I want to do my own research. I will go on YouTube, and yeah, I'll learn some like for a few months on YouTube. Then probably I'll hire a teacher. I won't hire a teacher if I have like plenty of time, probably because I can do my own research. But if I have a tight schedule, maybe I can hire a teacher because it saves my time, and the time is the most valuable thing in our life. So because I do not need to search on YouTube how to learn this, because I am taking the lessons from a teacher every single week. So yeah, basically he's telling me what to do and he is like correcting me. That's pretty good. If you can't afford a teacher, that's not a big deal. It's not mean like if you don't hire a teacher you won't learn Punjabi. Yeah, you will still become fluent in Punjabi or any language you're learning nowadays. With the help of internet, YouTube, you can learn any language in my opinion without a teacher. So yeah, it's a little hard maybe, but not that hard. I think you can learn. So basically when you learn from a teacher, it's a little bit easier because he is telling you and he's giving you feedback back. But it's not impossible to learn Punjabi. For example, I learn English without any teacher, right? So you can do that too. But if you want to save your time and you don't have much time and maybe you want to focus on other things, then I think if you hire a teacher, that's pretty good because you're gonna save a lot of time. All right, but make sure your teacher going to teach you informal or conversational Punjabi. If your goal is to learn, talk to people, definitely if you are gonna learn like a formal Punjabi, it's not gonna help you. You are gonna still be in a rabbit hole, right? Because you, after maybe year, you are gonna you took lessons from a teacher from Punjabi, and now you can read and you can write Punjabi, but you can still speak and form Punjabi, and then that's fine. But when you talk to Punjabi people and you can't understand that, so you felt like you are in the rabbit hole, all right? So make sure your teacher is teaching you informal Punjabi, and he is he or she is telling you difference between textbook type Punjabi and the real conversation Punjabi. All right. So next thing, should you take the courses? I don't think there's some courses you shouldn't be take courses. I won't take courses until I know that specific person. If I know that specific person, I know he provide the value. Yeah, probably I'll take if I can afford it. It's also it depends on you. If you are gonna randomly, if you see an ad, some guys going to give you a course, maybe they say you are gonna become fluent in 6 months. It's not gonna happen, and maybe you're gonna waste your time, so and your money, right? And when you took a course to learn a Punjabi, and after a month you think you waste your time and your money, right? So make sure when you're gonna take courses from anybody, maybe you already took a lesson from them, maybe you know how they teach, or maybe you already know because they are teaching on YouTube, stuff like that. So make sure you don't waste your time and money in courses. So now I'm doing the study for 3 hours in a day. For 2 hours passively when I'm listening, I'm just staying in the touch with the language, and 1 hour actively when I'm finding my mistake. Maybe I'm taking the lessons from a teacher. So this is pretty good actually. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna repeat, because practice makes perfect, right? If you do the practice, that's how you're gonna learn. So yeah, so I'm gonna repeat it again and again every single day. I'm gonna learn new things and I'm gonna repeat it again, because when you learn the language, you won't learn it after first time. When you learn something after a few times, you need to repeat it again and again, and it takes time. The learning language is not a subject, is a skill. When you build a skill, you need a repetitions. All right. So you would learn a language, any kind of language, with the repetitions. Even if you see in your own native language when you were a kid, you repeated the sentences 1,000 times, right? So even if you notice when somebody is speaking uh, everyday life English or whatever their native language is, so they are speaking pretty fast. But when somebody is having an interview, they have to explain something, they are speaking a little bit slower, because those kind of sentences, they don't have enough practice, they don't use them everyday life, right? They have to live, they have to think, and that's why they take time. That's why it's a little bit easier for other people to understand, because they think and they speak a little bit slowly. It sounds clear. When somebody watches the movies, because you also notice, and this is a big problem for learners who are learning Punjabi. They always say, I can understand a teacher when they're teaching, or I can understand somebody who's talking on, right, on the video, but I can't understand movies or the people in general who are talking. Because when somebody's like a talk on the interview, they are thinking and they are not speaking that fast. When you are listening somebody talking in general or in the movies, so basically they are like just talking, because those sentences they repeat 1,000 times, right, hundreds of thousands of times. They are very familiar with those sentences and they speak them faster. So same thing, if you're gonna do the repetition, you will become better in those. All right. So anyway, guys, that's how would I do if I was Punjabi learner, and if I was start from the scratch. So that's how you can do. Even if you have tight schedule, you can find some time. I think even if you do your study 30 minutes actively, right, this is fine. But you need more time passively. I think you need around like a 3 hours passively every single day. Yeah, maybe if you miss on the, like a weekend, you want to do this, it's okay. But I think you need 2 or 3 hours at least. At least you want to stay in touch with the language every single day, because when you listen that language every single day, you will become more familiar. All right. So even if you have less time, do actual study 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, but stay in touch with that language like 2 or 3 hours every single day. This is gonna improve your language, whatever the language you are learning, rapidly. All right. So anyway, that's guys, I hope you enjoy the podcast. I'll be back with another podcast another day.